Hey friends, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah from Pies and Pros, and we are starting 2021 off with another social media tips video. We are bringing back the social media tips series. It never went away, but this is going to be the first one for 2021, and I am very excited because we are going to be talking about how to start a blog. Very basics, how to get started. I know a lot of people in the beginning of the year are really interested in starting a blog. It's sort of that, new year, new me, starting off fresh and having a lot of ideas and goals and wanting to showcase that in a blog. And I think it's fantastic. Personally, I think I started Pies and Pros in a January as well. I know there are going to be some people that are wary and thinking, 2021, are blogs really relevant? Are they worth creating in 2021 after however many years it's been since blogs have originated? And 100% they are so valuable in 2021. Blogs have always been around and they are consistently valuable no matter what year it is. They are just really fantastic places to create content as an entrepreneur or a creator or a writer or whatever it is that you are. So yes, blogs are super valuable and probably even more so in 2021 than in the past recent years. If you've been meaning to create a blog and you're finally ready to do it, or if you have an existing blog and you want to amp it up a little bit this year, stick around. This is the video for you. I'm going to be going into all of the detail. I'm sectioning this off into 3 parts. It'll guide you from the very beginning before you even create the blog to creating the blog to how to keep it maintained afterwards. So get cozy. We're going to be talking a lot and no need to take notes or anything like that because I have created a companion blog post to go with this with resources and basically a written version of what I'm going to be talking about with a little bit more detail. So you don't need to take notes. You'll have that for reference as well as this video. Let's get started. Section 1 is going to be some tips and starters on what you should be doing before you even create your blog. So this is the very beginning of what you should be doing, and these are really important, so definitely pay attention to these things. The first thing that you need to do is figure out your why. What does this mean? Your why is basically your purpose. What is the purpose of creating this blog? What do you want out of creating this blog? I will give you my example of my personal why. I created Pies and Pros because I have a passion for various topics such as food, books, lifestyle, and art, and I wanted to be able to share my personal expertise as well as my passions with the internet world so that I can provide inspiration and guidance and recommendations. And that was my why. That is why I wanted to create Pies and Pros to begin with. Make sure that you pay close attention to your why. You might want to write it down in your journal somewhere or keep it as a note anywhere so you can reference it all the time so that you are grounded and focused in what you want your blog's purpose to be. This is really important because if you forget your why, you're going to forget the point of creating a blog in the first place, and it'll be a lot harder to maintain down the road. The next thing is to figure out your niche. Now, your why and your niche are very similar, but they're also very different, and let me explain why. Your why is your purpose, like we said, and your niche is going to take that purpose and turn it into a statement, a sentence of what exactly you're going to be showcasing on your blog. It gets really detailed here, and you want to make sure that you are creating either keywords or a sentence or a phrase in your head or in your journal. I highly recommend a journal, that's what I do, to really pinpoint what you're going to be showcasing. Some questions that you can ask yourself to figure out your niche is, what do I want to provide to my audience? What am I trying to achieve with my blog? What results do I want from my audience with this blog? You can come out of those questions by saying, I want to talk about lifestyle, I want to talk about food, I want to talk about beauty, I want to talk about fashion. These are some basic topics, some highly popular topics. There are thousands, if not millions, of blogs around talking about these topics. We're gonna break down these large topics and make them really defined, otherwise known as niche. The example of lifestyle, sustainable and low waste home decor. The example of food, you can turn food into minimalist food styling and photography. The example of fashion, vegan and recycled luxury fashion brands. So you see how we went from something that's very general, a general topic, into something really, really specific and niche. That is why it's called niche. So you definitely want to get to that point before you start anything. That is going to have the specifics as to what you're going to be talking about on your blog, because you can't just go in and talk about lifestyle and food without having something really specific to grasp onto. Because if you can't grasp onto it, your audience can't grasp onto it. That sets a difference between a general food blog to a really niche, desirable blog to check out, such as Molly Yeh. I love her blog. Incredible. The next thing that you want to do is to plan at least 3 blog posts or series before you launch. This is important because once you hit launch and you've created your blog and everything is all set to go, you want to have posts that are available to read. There's no sense in sharing your blog with people if they have nothing to read on your blog or check out on your blog. You know what I mean? And another great thing about doing this is sort of giving yourself a test trial, giving yourself a little bit of a self-examination and seeing how well you do with writing blog posts and figuring out your personality, the way that you write, your writing style, and just your unique take on whatever it is that you're going to be talking about. You can really make great quality blog posts from those 3 test trials before you even launch. That's a fantastic way to start, in my opinion. And the last part of this section is to build your social media presence. So if you haven't done this yet, if you do not have a social media platform, wherever it is that you choose, you want to do that as soon as possible. You have to build an audience online in order for your blog to do well, because how else are you going to self-promote? How are you going to let people know on the internet that you have a blog? You have to share it on your Twitter or your Instagram or your Facebook group, whatever it is. You can sign up to one account or you can sign up to several accounts. Of course, the more accounts, the more visibility, but if you want to stick to 1 or 2, that is absolutely fine and your choice. So definitely build your presence there. And I will say, do not create your social media platform today and then create your blog tomorrow. You want to be authentic and real and genuine, so take the time to build your online presence if you haven't done so already. If you've already done that and you've already got a bit of an audience, fantastic, that's great. You already have somewhere to share your potential blog posts or your future blog posts at. So perfect if you've already done that. I can definitely do a social media tips video on getting started on whatever platform that you are interested in. Okay, moving on to section 3, we're going to be talking about actually creating your website, your blog. The first thing that you need to do is select a platform. So you might have heard of different platforms before in the interwebs. The most popular one is WordPress, but there are many others, and I will put more details of that in the blog post so you can browse around and refer to that blog post while you do your research. I will personally say I have used WordPress in the past many times for several blogs over the years of my life, but right now Pies and Prose is on Blogger, which is a Google-run platform. I just decided to make a switch one day just because I wanted to try something new. I put Pies and Prose on Blogger, and I've never looked back since. I've had a great experience on Blogger. So it's another great option if you're interested and if you wanted to know which one I use. Now this next thing, you need to have this. I don't think there should be a choice to be made here. Of course, there are different circumstances, but you have to figure out if you're going to self-host. Self-hosting is essentially, buying your own domain name and opening up a lot of premium features to run your blog the way that you want to run it, and have analytics and different tools to really make your blog efficient and just easy to use. You have to pay money in this part. You have to purchase a domain in order to have a domain, but it takes your blog from blogger.piesandprose.com to piesandprose.com, which I don't think I need to say sounds a lot more professional and formal and legit. And if the cost is something that is of concern, your upfront payment is a yearly payment in order to pay for a domain. So you're paying for a whole year's worth of something upfront. That is a commitment, that is an investment. And if you are serious about your blog, if you really want to take your blog to another level and potentially make it into a career or just have a legit blog, it is worth the investment. I I know this is really cheesy to say, and a lot of people say this, but you have to spend money to make money. So if this is something that you are looking to have monetized or make a little bit of an earnings from, or if you want to have a legit space and have career opportunities from this blog, you need to make the investment, and it's actually not so expensive. Of course, it's expensive upfront because you're paying for the whole year, but I pay $100 a year for my domain, which is not bad. That's not even $1 a day. Of course, everyone's financial situation is different. It really does depend. If you're using your blog for a personal purpose, for your family and friends, and this is not something that you are trying to create a career out of or monetization from, by all means, do the free option. That won't cost you a penny. So it all just depends on what you want out of your blog. Okay, and the final thing, and probably in my opinion the most fun part of this section, is design. So I am guilty of doing so many mistakes with design because I will, start the blog process, get it all set up, and then when it's time to design, I just go wild with all the different options and the colors and playing around, and I can quickly get overwhelmed, spend several days, if not an entire week, just working on design for fun without having a clear direction. And I've made that mistake so many times in the past. I'm here to tell you, you need to have a design plan before you click create blog on whatever platform that you're using. Why is this so important? If someone lands on your blog, this is the internet world, this is 2021, someone is going to land on your blog for, let's say, half a second, and they will already decide whether or not if your platform is worth checking out. Let's not lie to ourselves, 99% of that is due to design. They might not have even read one of your article titles or your blog titles without deciding that they want to stick around. And design is one of the most critical and important things in all sorts of different brands. If we use Glossier for an example, a lot of people like Glossier because it's pretty. Let's not kid ourselves. I like Glossier because they're pretty. When you have your idea in mind, these are the things that you want to think of. Your color palette, your fonts, you can have several fonts, your layout, the way that you want your blog to look, headers, banners, logos, all of those design things. You want to have an idea of that beforehand. This is also going to lighten up that stress when it's time for you to click create a blog and they give you a ton of options to get started on design and you don't know where to start. If you do this beforehand, you won't be so overwhelmed or scared to get started. You will already have one foot in before you've even opened the door. I will also say that you do not need to know how to code in order to design your website. A lot of people are afraid that their website is not going to look pretty or sleek or professional enough, and there are options out there for you to help you so that you have no stress whatsoever. So with Blogger and WordPress, you can purchase themes, and when you purchase these themes, they're instant downloads. They come in like a zip folder, and the zip folder 99% of the time, if not 100% of the time, will have thorough instructions on how to download the theme onto your website so that it goes from just a plain old blog into a beautiful theme that you want it to look like. I personally use Etsy to shop for my themes. I have been using Etsy for a number of years to update and refresh Pies and Prose, and I've always had a fantastic experience. I've never had a bad experience. I found one that I loved, I made the purchase, I supported a small business on Etsy. It's a win-win situation. Also something that is well worth the investment, especially if you are not experienced in coding. Hey, you paid $20 for a theme right there, but $20 is going to keep your blog looking fantastic forever. I think it's well worth it. I love this part of creating blogs so much. It's what's sort of halting me with my food blog right now because I have so many ideas for my design that it is getting to be overwhelming, so I'm still working on refining that and figuring out my design there. But yeah. Okay, this leads us into the final section, section 3. You are out into the world and you've created a blog. Congratulations, I'm so proud of you. And these are a couple of pointers to help you keep going. Maintenance, really important for you to remember going down the line. Never forget you. Like I said before with the niche, you want to add your personality, your voice, and your tone into your blog posts. Nobody goes onto a blog in 2021 to read a generic blog post. We want personality. We want to feel like we connect with the person who is writing the blog post. This is what helps people stick around. This is how your audience grows. Just don't forget your voice when you are writing. And that is the difference between writing fiction, writing nonfiction, writing an article, and writing a blog post. A blog post is yours. It has you all over it, and you want to make sure that you are being expressed in your blog post, no matter what you're talking about. Don't feel like you need to be extremely formal, because you do not. It is your blog and you can do whatever you want. A lot of people actually love that. And this last thing is extremely important. Perfection is on the horizon. It's getting there. But it is totally fine to make mistakes right now. It is totally fine to make mistakes even after you hit post, even after you hit launch, even after you tweet about it or write an Instagram post about it. You have to make mistakes in order to get better. It is a gradual process, and perfection doesn't exist. We just consistently improve. There is not a single person in this world, and quote me on that and fight me in the comments, there is not one person who has created a perfect blog from the get-go. No one, no one, no one, no one. I have created blogs since blogs have existed. I have gone through every single platform. I've been on Xanga, I've been on Tumblr, I've been on all different platforms that you can even imagine. None of them are perfect. Pies and Prose is not perfect, but that doesn't stop me from going. Your consistency is very valuable, and you won't be able to be consistent. You won't be able to get success. You won't be able to be seen or be heard about anywhere if you don't post at all. So just post it. I don't know how I've done it, but people watch me on YouTube. People read my blog posts on piesandprose.com, and I am nowhere near perfect. So that is just something to always hold with you. I have been doing Pies and Prose since 2017, and it wasn't until the end of 2020 where I made more than a penny on my blog, if you can believe that. So that is just some food for thought. Just do the thing. Just do it. Goodness gracious, that was a lot, but we made it. If you made it this far, bless your soul, bless your heart. I love you so much, and let me know in the comments if you made it this far. I am like losing my voice right now. Can you tell? I need water. Hold on. All right, so with all of that, are you ready to start your blog? You are ready to start this blog. I am telling you, you are ready. Feel free to send me questions in the comments. Let me know how your progress is going with your blog. Depending on when you're watching this video, shoot me a message on Instagram if you want to chat some more. And yeah, I am opening up the comments. Now, y'all don't get spammy. Do not get spammy on me. But feel free to send your blog in the comments, and I will check out as many as I can. But please don't spam my comment section. Please. I will ignore you. No, I'm just kidding. If you liked this video, feel free to like it and hit subscribe. We are definitely doing a lot more social media tips videos in 2021. This series is a long-running series. I will continuously update it with tips, tricks, and guides all pertaining to social media and the online world. So definitely hit subscribe if you're interested in things like that. I also want to mention, if you've ever wanted to support me here online, you can just continue watching some YouTube videos here. You can check out my blog, or you can join me in my Patreon coven. One of my goals in 2021 is to really build a fantastic community there, and I have a small community there right now. It is called The Coven, so if you're into the witchy vibes, definitely head over there and check it out. I will link it in the description, but yeah, if you've ever wanted to support, those are ways that you can do so, and I appreciate every single one of you who have decided to do that, especially if you've watched this video. So thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one.